Ivory. I'm Nadia Wilson, one of the media correspondents with Sheen Magazine, and it's a pleasure to be speaking to you today.
For sure. Pleasure's mine, for sure.
Yes, so I have a quick icebreaker for you just to start off. If a new listener pressed play on Mud for the first time, which song do you hope resonates with them the most and why?
Honestly, I feel like all of them resonate for different days, but I feel like if they start from the beginning, the intro to the record is 10,000 hours. That's like, anything you want in your life, if you want to be successful with it, you got to put that 10,000 hours in. So that's just like my testimony, you know what I'm saying? But it's also a testament to, what you got to do in order to get where you want to be. So if you start from the beginning, that's the vibe you're going to get.
I love that. I love that. I definitely took a deep dive into the project and I was
Okay,
saving
okay.
all the songs. I said, hold on, good. This is real
It's
good.
something in there. Something in there.
Yes, so I want to start off with early life and your personal journey. Let's talk about who you are beyond the music. Um,
Yeah.
so with that being said, I know you're from Chicago and they have a
Yeah.
rich musical history from the gospel, drill, think even house music.
Yeah.
Yeah, so how did this city's music scene influence you as an artist?
Man, I grew up listening to Ye, listening to Common, you know what I'm saying? Like listening to, artists that really had something to say lyrically.
Hmm.
So that just really like this just made me want to be, you know what I'm saying, like a songwriter. That's why like the beginning of my career was really based on me being a successful songwriter, writing for some of the biggest artists in the world, you know what I'm saying? Because I saw artists that were writing records, you know what I'm saying, that was really coming from a real place. Even like R. Kelly, you know what I'm saying, coming from an authentic place as a writer and really, putting pen to pad and writing something that like not just can be a vibe, but something that can get you through something too. So
Absolutely
the city of Chicago, I give it up. That's my home.
love that. And
Yeah.
what this is kind of a personal question, but
I-
what kind of music would be playing in your household when you were growing up? Like, did your parents or family members introduce you to those artists that you spoke on? And did
yeah.
that pretty much like help shape the sound?
Yeah, it's so crazy because like my mom, she used to listen to like the Isley Brothers like a lot, like OD. She listened to Babyface a lot. You know what I'm saying? I know I speak highly on songwriters and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But my dad listened to a lot of like jazz. You know what I'm saying? So like that like helped me with melodies and shit like that. You know what I mean? So like definitely like those households was definitely like curated me into like loving music, you know what I'm saying? Like more than I probably should, for real.
I love that. And speaking of, writing music, you've built quite a name,
Yeah,
behind the scenes as a songwriter. What
yeah.
pushed you to finally step into the spotlight as an artist? And was there any type of fear or hesitation in making that pivot or transition?
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying? Like I always feel like, the best artists come into the game when like they're needed. You know what I mean? Like, as crazy it might sound, but like the game needed, that rawness of Sexy Red. You know what I'm saying? Like the game needed that rawness of Ye when he came, or that, you know what I'm saying, that blue collar, you know what I'm saying? And I always felt like, I didn't want to come in the game as an artist that wasn't needed in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of times people try to like coattail off somebody else's vibe or whatever. But like the transition honestly has been smooth and easy because like the one of the big reasons why I started, going down this artist bag is because of my peers, like people that I've written songs for, like
Yeah.
Beyonce, Chris Brown, Blue, Queen, Thug, all the artists that I've worked with have always been like, Ivory, when you gonna drop your own music? Or Ivory, you need to keep this for yourself. Or
Mm.
even like my brother keeping me on record, Hitmaker keeping me on records with Fabulous saying, you stand on this record. So it's almost like my artist bag hand got kind of forced. Like
Yeah.
I got my deal with Monarch off of demos. You know what I'm saying? Like Monarch was listening to demos for other artists, heard my demos and was like, this dude sound like he need to be an artist. You know what I'm saying? So like, I feel like God pushes you, you know what I'm saying,
Oh,
in a
yeah.
direction where, you know what I'm saying, you supposed to be. And I found my purpose and also I found my voice, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what's better than doing it as an artist.
I love that. It kind of reminds me of like a Leon Thomas because I know
Yeah,
he's a
for sure. That's my
songwriter.
dog.
Yeah, y'all
Yeah,
need
that's
to
my
collab. I
Yeah,
need
that's my
to.
dog. We've been talking about doing a collab since 2021, like that deep. So
Oh my
it's
God.
it's coming. It's coming. We gonna lock in.
The people need it. The people need it. Let's just
One
say
thousand
that.
percent. 1,000%.
Yes, so I know you talked a lot about resilience in your music. What were
Yeah.
some of the biggest challenges that you might have faced early on, and how did you overcome them?
Man, music. Like growing up, my father was an active drug user, and
Mhm.
like I feel like putting the headphones on, it locked me into a different world. You know what I'm saying? Like I taught myself how to play piano through the struggle, you know what I'm saying, through the turbulence that I was going through growing up as a child. And it made me who I am. So I'm like, I'm so grateful. It's so crazy because like all the things that I went through, being homeless, you know what I'm saying, like growing up in poverty,
Mhm.
all that basically made Ivory Scott, you know what I'm saying, who he is today. You know what I'm saying? So it's like in order for me to become who I am, I had to go through those struggles. So I'm so grateful for
Mhm.
those struggles. For real.
Absolutely. I feel like some of those most humbling times, they definitely shape us as
Sure.
individuals. And especially as a songwriter or creative, like those stories become testimonies. And
Right.
it's easy to hear them within the lyrics of your song. I hear you talk about God a lot,
For
um,
sure.
your music, and I love that too.
For sure. For sure. Yeah, man. Honestly, like, coming from where I came from and surviving what I came through, I can't like look in the mirror and say I did it. You know what I'm saying? It's impossible. God had to have his hand on my life. All the artists that I've been able to work with, all the artists that like I've been able to bless with records, it's impossible. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember when I first started getting into music, my music teacher, he was like, he's like, you think you're gonna make it in the music business? Only 0.5% of people actually make it and all that and just shot on my dreams. But it's like that point five was still a possibility for me. And so I knew that I had to chase it because I knew that, you know what I'm saying, with God's favor on my life, you know what I'm saying, I could have whatever I wanted.
Absolutely. I totally agree. I
For
feel like
sure.
sometimes those naysayers, they're meant to go along with us on our journeys because it's
Yeah.
like, okay, I will show you,
Yeah, for sure.
So I love that. I love that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. So what's the most personal song you've written either for yourself or another artist?
The first most personal song. The most personal song would probably have to be Mud Trauma on my album.
Okay.
And Mud Trauma is just like, it's like a very, I mean, a lot of my music for myself is very descriptive on things that I like went through and seen in my life. And the only reason why I really put it, in my music is because I know like there's a, young black man, you know what I'm saying, young black boy in Chicago or wherever, you know what I'm saying, going through the things that I went through. So I could be a voice for him or a voice to them for them to be able to be like, you know what, if Ivory Scott could do it, I could do it. You know what I'm saying? So I lay it all out in my own music. But when I'm writing for other people, it's very curated. It's like I'm stalking they Instagram captions. I'm gonna do my homework to know what type of time they on. You know what I'm saying? So that I could be able to give their fans what they need from them.
Yes, I can see that.
Real,
Yeah. So also Mud is a deeply personal project, as you've
for
stated.
sure.
What does this album reveal about you that people might not know?
Yeah, man. That I'm vulnerable. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like it's so crazy because like as a songwriter, I've always been the quietest dude in the room. Like I'll come in the studio with Hitmaker or Chains or whoever. Like any session I'll come into, I'll just be the quietest dude in the room. But I'm really like an assassin when I go in the booth. You know what I'm saying? So like dropping my own project has allowed me to like really like have to open up, you know what I'm saying, and like be vulnerable and talk about things that, you know what I'm saying, can be hurtful to my own family sometimes because, you know what I'm saying, like my mom might not want to hear me say in an interview that she walked out on me and left me, you know what I'm saying, even though it's my truth. My dad might not want to hear, me talking about, his drug use, even though both of my parents, are in my life and are, I don't blame them for anything. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we go through what we go through to become who we need to be.
Absolutely.
So, like it's very personal, and intimate for me, you know what I'm saying, to be vulnerable, but I feel like we need more vulnerable music, you know what I'm saying, for real.
Yes. Yes.
Everybody, got this facade like everything is perfect. Like internet, it give you this highlights of people's lives and you say, man,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? Like we all going through shit at certain levels of our lives, and we need that or that authentic, in the world for real.
Yeah, exactly. Let's stay there for a moment. Just about being an artist that you are able to share your story, kind of like a diary. Like your music is kind of like a diary,
For
not just
sure.
you, but you're inviting other people in. How does
Yeah,
that feel for you? Just to be authentic and so personable.
man, it's like breathing. It's like taking a breath of fresh air because it's like, man, like I just hate shit that ain't real. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it's enough fake shit. Like, I feel like it's enough, like, people pretending to love each other. I feel like it's enough people, like, pretending to be brothers or pretending to be twin. And, being raw and real is like all I want to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, uncut. Cause I feel like just we need more of that.
I love that. I love that. And what moment from your life made you embrace that within your mindset and music?
Probably losing my older sister.
Mm.
Oh, like I lost my older sister in 2000, in 2020. And like my older sister, just so you know, like she was really like, I know I mentioned like my parents weren't really in my life like
Yeah.
that, but my sister was like basically my mom, like stealing food from the grocery store, for me to eat. Like, she was my biggest fan, you know what I'm saying? And like losing her, it made me like really realize that, I couldn't short my purpose. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't short my reach,
Yeah.
and I couldn't live my full purpose through other artists. Even though I've written for so many artists, you know what I'm saying? Like I needed to, create a platform to have my voice be heard and have my story be told, and also to champion my sister every chance I get. So that definitely was one of the most pivotal moments.
I love that. And I'm sure she's proud of you because this
Sure.
project, like, it's really good.
I can
It's
feel
really
it. I can
good.
feel it. Yeah, for sure.
So, how do you want fans to feel after listening to Mud from start to finish?
I want them to feel like everything gonna be all right.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, we fall, we got to get back up. Like my record 99 times. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You got to fall, you got to get back up. You got to go get some money. You know what I'm saying? Money, money. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many records on this project. I feel like this project is a project for every day
Yeah.
because every day you ain't gonna feel like it. Every day you ain't gonna feel like hustling. Every day you ain't gonna feel like loving. Every day you ain't gonna, some days you're gonna feel like having a good time and that's it. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like this project it's gonna be, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be one of them projects that you can always go back to and get a gem for your life.
I love that. Something for every day, every
For
moment.
sure. Sure.
Yes. So, lastly, what is next for you? A tour, any visuals, something that fans can get excited about? Talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, for sure. Like the record on the project featuring my brother Two Chains and Young Blue, we working on the visual for that. So
Okay.
that's gonna be super exciting. It's got so many legs right now. It's already going crazy on the streaming platforms,
Yeah.
and the radio. You know what I'm saying? It's already doing so good. So we gonna definitely shoot video for that. And then I'm working on a tour with a few of my peers, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm working on popping out on tour with my brother Friday. His first date is in Chicago. So,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? We
That's
locking
good.
in. We about to get outside.
That's good.
Of
Yeah. I
course, I'm still in my writing bag too. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's impossible for me. Like, you know how people be like, "Are you gonna keep writing songs?"
think
As long as artists keep calling me and ready to pay my fee to write
be
songs,
ready.
I'm gonna go get that paper.
I know that's right.
For real,
Well,
for real.
congratulations on everything that you're doing. Super excited for you. And I hope
I
the
appreciate.
momentum keeps going with the project because this is definitely worth a listen for sure.
I definitely appreciate that. I'm glad you tapped in with it.
Absolutely.